Here's who I think are going to be 5 of the most underrated and breakout players for the Vancouver Canucks this season. Maybe players that haven't had that opportunity yet, injuries, who knows, the whole shebang. By the way, what's going on, guys? I'm Jacob Doodle. Welcome to the channel. We are kind of a newish type channel. I can still say that, right? And if you guys enjoy Vancouver Canucks content, this is the place to be. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. First off, right off the bat, Nils Hoglander, 72 games played, 8 goals, 17 assists, 25 points. So here's the thing about Nils. And what's interesting about him is the guy, when he goes out, when he plays, he's one of the most tenacious hockey players on the team. Last season, though, he had a really slow start to the season. He had a little bit of an opportunity, and he didn't capitalize by it. This season, and by the end of the season, he was playing a lot better. This season, though, he's going to be playing easily in the top 6 for a majority of the season, in my honest opinion. This is his opportunity to go and get a real good shot, a real good look, and see if he can stay a little bit more consistent. I don't think it's crazy to think that this guy can go out and potentially get 50 points in a campaign. Remember, back in the day, not even a few years ago, he had a really good season. He scored a ton of goals, and then he hasn't been the same since. But he has his kind of contract. He's making around $3 million for another year or two. And this is finally time for him to go and have that better season, which a lot of people are hoping and expecting. The next player on the list, I have Athanasiou. Now, Athanasiou is a guy, he's an Abbey guy. He's kind of just been up and down the lineup. At the end of last season, he scored a ton of goals for Vancouver. And what was really nice to see, in 33 games played, he had 7 goals, 4 assists, and 11 points. But a majority of those goals came near the end of the season. He was putting up a bunch of points. Now, Athanasiou is a player that could play because he's got the development from Abbey. He's a center, which we desperately need. I feel he probably by the halfway through the season, he can be our third-line center, especially if we don't go pick up a second-line center, which a lot of people are expecting this offseason. I think Athanasiou can have a really nice campaign, maybe even get himself in the 25, 30-point season. And also, he's really good defensively. He's great on the face-offs. He can be a penalty killer. This is someone who you should keep an eye on. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a nice little campaign here. Now, the next player is a guy you guys are very familiar with, and that's Garland. And by the way, if you're wondering why maybe Elias Pettersson's not on this list, the real forward version of Elias Pettersson, is because he kind of broke out before, and I don't think he's underrated. I think a lot of people are thinking he's going to go and have a big season this season, so I don't think he would probably be in that specific underrated category. But next, Garland. He's someone that, man, everybody who's in Vancouver really appreciates everything he does. The guy just works the hardest out of everybody on this team. And he had 81 games played. He had 19 goals, 31 assists, 50 points. He's going to get power play time, which he got a little bit more of last season. He's going to be playing with really good hockey players, probably for a lot more. I can see his minutes going up this season. He's a dog out front of the net. You can put him all over the lineup. I think he's just underrated around the rest of the league. I think people in Vancouver appreciate how good Garland is. But I think around the league, people don't realize how damn good he is. And I think this is going to be the season people are going to be kind of opening their eyes, especially since he's just signed that new contract long-term, sticking with Vancouver, which we just absolutely love to have him for a long time. So honestly, I think he's going to have a nice season. He could potentially get up to 60, 65 points. Can he hit that 20, 25 goal range? I can definitely see it happening if he gets that opportunity. Now, the next name on the list is a very interesting one, and that is Evander Kane. So Evander Kane, coming from the Edmonton Oilers, had just a ton of injury problems in the last few seasons. He went into the playoffs, because we're going to specifically focus on the playoffs since he didn't really play in the regular season. In 21 games, he had 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. He was a +4. Now, the thing about Evander Kane, what makes him so interesting and so intriguing, honestly, is that he has that physical package, that unicorn-type package. And the reason I'm putting him as an underrated player for us is because people thought he was basically just a straight captain. You know, Edmonton got rid of him. They don't want him. They don't see much coming from him in Vancouver. Well, in my opinion, if Elias Pettersson has a good bounce-back season this year, probably the biggest guy who's going to benefit from that is going to be Evander Kane, because I feel that Evander Kane is going to be playing with Petey the entire season. I think Evander Kane is going to be that enforcer type for Elias Pettersson. If Pettersson gets touched, I think Evander Kane is going to be right in there, the first guy right in there. And I think people are sleeping on him a little bit this season if everything goes right and he can go and stay healthy. And that's going to be a really important part when we talk about the next person who, in my opinion, the number one potential breakout star for Vancouver next season. But Evander Kane, man, that first game, if Elias Pettersson gets touched, man, I'm telling you, he jumps in, he fights the guy. You know they're going to be chanting his name, right? Like, everybody knows he's going to be channeling his name. So I think Evander Kane has a shot to have a nice bounce back season. He can potentially get 50, 60 points, maybe 20 to 30 goals, somewhere in that range. I think that would be a huge success with his physical package. Let's see something like that happen. That would be really, really nice. But the number one player on my list is someone who just had an absolutely ton of injuries, and that is Filip Chytil. Filip Chytil is a really, really solid hockey player. He's fast. He has a decent shot. He's an okay playmaker, but what he's really good at is his transition into neutral ice. The guy just blows by people. He gets just a ton of opportunities. Filip Chytil is a very solid player. Last season, in the 15 games for Vancouver, he had 2 goals, 4 assists, and he had 6 points. It doesn't sound great, but honestly, he was a lot more flashier, and he missed a lot of opportunities. And honestly, I could have easily seen him double that in that amount of time. I thought he was solid for us. And honestly, I feel that Filip Chytil could have a chance to just absolutely explode this season. But the biggest part with Filip Chytil and the biggest worry is his concussion histories. This is a guy who just continues to have concussion after concussion after concussion. And I'm worried about his actually health and safety just in general, just in real life, not even playing hockey or his career. I just want the guy to stay healthy. But if he can play a full season, and if we don't get a second line center, right? If he's going to be our second line center, Filip Chytil is the guy who's going to benefit the most out of this. I can easily see him breaking 50 or 60 points if he gets to stay on that second line center this entire season. Maybe get some power play time as well. This is a player who has the package. He has the skill. He just needs to show it full time. So guys, do you guys agree with my list or not? Let me know below. If you guys like this video, drop a like. I hope you guys have an amazing day and take care. Peace.